Hello again. So it's been a couple days, about a week or so, I guess, at least, since I've had a chance to work on this. Mainly because I had to actually get some stuff before we could really go any further. So, chiefly, if you remember, I did not have a dummy load. And if you've forgotten what that is, the dummy load is basically a antenna that's not an antenna. It's basically just a sink. It's like a black hole. And it's necessary, I guess, because when you go to calibrate this antenna, it needs to hook up to something that's not transmitting, because otherwise it would transmit and create a lot of interference and cause issues and get everybody in trouble and everything else. So for a bunch of reasons, not to mention just like potentially damaging the little radio, we needed this dummy load. So we got that in. Now, what I didn't expect, and I had to really look at on Amazon before I ordered this thing, was that most of these dummy loads are set up for this UHF connection, which I believe is, it's either the PL259 or SO239. It's one or the other. One of those connections is what this thing is. And this thing down here is what they call a BNC connector. And so I couldn't find one that was a BNC connector. This is what they had. And so I had to do some thinking to figure out how to make all of this hook together, because it wasn't going to just plug up to it. That wasn't going to happen, apparently. So I ended up getting a couple of, actually I got quite a bit of stuff, but I had to get this little connector that fits into here. So this male connection on here fits this female connection on here. And then that drops me off to almost exactly that same connector. But the reason I needed that was because this wouldn't mount on here very cleanly. It would be, up off the table, and that seemed kind of janky. So I needed basically an extension cord off of this thing. And then I found these little adapters that go from the small side here, which is the BNC connection, to this UHF cable that plugs into here. So I basically made an extension cord up to this dummy load, and that will allow me to proceed with the calibration step. Now, according to the manual, the calibration step, there's like, I think it said there was 3 steps. After we selected the band, which we did last time, we selected 20 meters. Now we have to calibrate this band pass trimmer capacitor, C1, the IQ amplitude balance, and the phase shift adjustments. And it shows here in this picture, it's all very well marked what it is that we're adjusting. It's these 3 screws here, and then there's one underneath this hole here, which the hole is right there, BPF. So that's what we're going to be adjusting. And I'm following this guide for it. And I have looked ahead a little bit here. We do have this temperature compensating crystal oscillator module on this radio. So we have to go into this menu 8.5 and change it to 25 million something hertz, I guess, megahertz. Anyway, we have to make sure we change that to 25 million. And we do that before we do anything else. We also have to switch off the automatic gain correction module in this menu. Before doing any of this other preset or an alignment stuff, we have to do that. So I'm going to get this thing hooked up and come back here in a minute when I've got, oh, and you have to have some headphones. It ends up being you plug in some headphones to one of these ports, and I guess it makes some really loud tones, and you adjust according to what the tones sound like, it sounds like. So, yeah. That's what we're going to do. So I guess I'll come back in a minute when I'm actually doing it. If you have your earphones plugged in, unplug them first. But it doesn't tell me which port the earphones are in. Let's look at the case, I guess, maybe, and see. Push to talk. Must be the port on this side. So that one, it looks like that says, whoop. Oh. Audio is next to power right there. Okay. Because that's the DC in. Audio's right next to it. Okay. So, yeah, you need some 3.5 millimeter jack headphones to plug in. And it says not to have them in your ears because I guess it's ridiculously loud, so you'll be able to hear it. So, yeah, that's what we're going to do.